Alright, let's go over some staffs. So, the Void Strike, it does an AoE. I don't actually know how big this one is, since I have a new one now that has better blast radius thing, but I've only played with it once, I think. Don't know if I actually uploaded or saved that video, but it does good damage against carapace. A little bit less against these guys. Let's see, these guys are... So it penetrates 3 of them. How many does it penetrate with these guys? Well, at least 2. So... penetration. Isn't an AoE on it too? Yeah, a little bit. So, shooting through hordes or shooting at armor are equally valid. It might be just me that's very used to playing Darktide, and the Fireball Staff is kind of an AoE weapon. This one is, well, a bit of a mix, actually. Stagger range, yep. Same there. So it reached that one, but not this one, so not perfect. But I only had 60-ish. For it anyway, the regular thing is kind of just a regular thing. Anyway, I can see this being used to both snipe specials and to do some actual stagger. How's the stagger for these guys? Well, damage is kind of bad. So the damage is... not that good. So this is basically you should be hitting center mass, but doesn't care if there's 3 in the way. So sniping through hordes is... this one is best for, I guess. And if we look at the damage profile, secondary action, it has the same against carapace and flak armored, and a lot of stagger, so that's very good. Maniacs though, it's a little bit less. But, yeah, sniping things through a horde. Yep. So let's go with the trauma staff. Let's look at this first. So, these damage numbers are very high. The stagger numbers are way higher. But I don't think that the damage numbers are actually really correct. Just maybe in the absolute dead center. We're gonna try that actually. So the blast radius just a 50% thing or roll there, but it is quite large. So, epicenter. Yeah, he's dead. So, I think that... let's actually try that. I think that the radius for the stagger... yeah, so those two, they flew away, but they didn't take any damage. So the stagger's outside the area where you're using it. But it doesn't do damage. So this guy, epicenter, he's dead. And we're... the damage profile right now is for heresy. This guy, actually decent damage. He's not. The epicenter. Well, it still takes the same amount of damage. Don't know how to feel about this. I think it's actually better than I thought. It's at the edge there. Well, does decent damage. But the build-up, 50% barrel in one cast. But considering how good it is, that's fair. Anyway, Carapace. Same damage.
I shall sweep all before me.
But one of the good things is you can actually shoot them around corners. Let's see if we can push this guy. Like that. And let's say that's a... if that would have been a gunner, for example, you can actually aim there and still hit them. So, sniping around corners, very much doable. So, crowd control weapon, stagger, does a lot of damage, but builds peril like it's nobody's business. And yeah, the blast radius is kind of big. Don't know how much this is gonna change when we get a really good one. But yeah. So stagger, and well, basically it's 2 casts and then you have to quell. Whereas with Void Strike staff, you can cast a few times more. So the Surge staff, the one, if you've seen my early videos, I had the most trouble getting to grips with. But there's a little bit of a mechanic. I think I've talked about this one a little bit in one of my other videos. Let's actually go and check this. So you get critical bonus instead, which is interesting. But melee critical chance, don't know how, if that is actually working on this or not, but there is special action where you can actually hit people with it. But yeah. So this one also has kind of high stagger numbers, but one of the most important things to keep in mind when running the Surge staff is that unarmored, infested, they take less damage than the rest of the bunch. So armored enemies are taking the most. So you want to use this at armored enemies. Now, there's one more caveat to it. Let's get the let's try this. You can't choose what to target, and if you look at my cast here, charging it to full, casting, there are small damage numbers, and then there's a big one at the end. So if I cast it at half, it's still the same. It's just lesser. But the majority of your damage is in that last tick. So let's say we get these guys. See, I'm not doing much until the... well, that guy died, but... the last tick is where all the damage are. And, well, it gets lesser and lesser as we go through targets, of course. But you can stagger everything, and you will kill most of these guys. These guys, however, take less damage. I killed one. And the others are... that one's half health-ish. Still full cast on these. 2 are dead. One is almost dead. That might have been from before though. Let's get a correct group.
Face my incomparable wrath!
So 2 of them are dead, and that one's almost dead. But it will stagger quite a lot. So those guys are gonna get stunned. So you want to target armor and the maniacs and shit like that with this one. Because if you go for the horde, you're not gonna... well, you can stagger them, of course, if you need to, but don't expect big damage in a horde of poxwalkers. That's what I'm trying to say. If you run up to a group of these guys, however, it's gonna matter very much more. Anyway, regardless, this is basically the what's it called? The flamethrower. So this one has decent damage, cloud radius, but the burn is kind of low. But regardless of that, let's see if that changes anything. So 40s, 50s. So I'll charge it half. If I can actually cast, that is. 40s, 50s, yeah. So it's basically the same. But the charge up is basically like in Vermintide 2. It decides how long you can actually cast a spell. And the mouse button basically throws out one of those. So if we set this guy on fire, so So you see that one actually took damage there. And Carapace should probably... So he's still burning. So you can see the ticks from my actual burn. It's going up. It's not going up quickly since the burn stat for it is bad, but you see the higher numbers are actually the direct damage it does, and the ticking numbers was 8 there. 8, 8, 8. Those are the burn after. So I've read that the burning effect should stack to infinity, but I can't seem to get them up higher. So these guys not getting through. These guys, you do decent damage. One cast and he's dead. So that's actually quite good. Let's actually do it like this. So is he gonna die from this too? So the burn damage 113 for that guy. A lot more for that guy, that one. These guys only 6. These guys a bit more. These guys though, so continuous damage. This staff is very good. But the limits of the range is quite far.
I am dead.
Yeah, like there. We can... how much is that? 15 meters? 14, 15?
Must be calm.
So somewhere within 13, 14 meters.
The Hydra's no longer a
So if you wanna burn hordes, because you can cast quite a few times before you're actually up. So if I were actually good at this, I could probably squeeze in another cast there. Because when you charge, one thing to note, both with the Brain Burst and the staffs, even if you charge it to full and keep it, it still charges your peril. So you can still die from explosions to yourself with all of the staffs. So, quick recap. Wood Strike. You want to snipe things, and you want to snipe things through hordes. Trauma. If you want to do massive stagger and decent damage, but your damage is basically capped at your peril management. And you can also shoot around corners. With the Surge Staff, you have to finish the cast at all cost, otherwise basically your peril has been wasted, because the majority of the damage is at the end of the cast. You can still use shorter casts to, if you need to, stagger people. Like for let's say you have a zealot with you and he's been dancing around 2 maulers and a berserker, and then he gets a dog on him. And well, you can lock down the maulers and berserkers, and so that they don't get the free casts, the free hits to actually kill them. Then you don't need to finish the cast because, well, you're in another situation that requires something else. But to do damage, you want to finish the cast. You don't necessarily need to finish the charge. It does quite a lot of damage even at half strength, but you want to finish the cast. So it's a bit more technical than the other ones because of that limitation. And that one also, the chain lightning that chains can also go around corners, which is something to keep in mind too. And the Purgatus, if you want to set everything on fire and see the world burn. Does a lot of damage, but the range is quite a limitation. You also, I'm guessing, well, it's an educated guess, because I played a lot of Flamer on the Zealot, but for the Flamer at least, you need high damage and high burn, and preferably quite high cloud radius. I'm guessing the synergy between them are gonna be basically the same for this. So, anyway. Yeah, that's about it. That's about it. I just want 131, 159. So this one doesn't require you to do a full cast either. But I guess it helps with penetration. Half cast, still 3. Still 3. But the damage fall off is worse. So anyway, I do think there's one more weapon to talk about, but I can't get myself to actually play it because I've seen a lot of people saying that it's very, very good, but I weave in a lot of push blocks, and I kind of want to cast when I'm playing the Psyker. Otherwise I could just play something else. So I've died one time in total because I overused the staff. I've died one time. The brain burst, I think. But I've died at least once a mission or twice a mission with the Force Sword each time I've used it. I can't fucking play it, so if you want a good explanation for that, unfortunately, you're gonna have to look for it elsewhere. But I can't say as much as charge thing. It's very good at single target. And the blocking and pushing causes you to raises your peril, which is basically how I've blown myself up with it several times. It was back in the pre-order beta, so they might have changed it now. I haven't gotten a good one to update myself on it, but yeah. So those are the staffs. You should, if you watch this until the end, you probably have a little better understanding of where to utilize them. If you're a veteran, then you probably already know these kinds of guys, but yeah, I guess I'll see you in the next one.